The first ever Star Wars Unlimited Galactic Championships has come to a close. So in this video, we are going to take a live look at the grand final and find out which player has been crowned the first ever Star Wars Unlimited Galactic Champion. My name's Ben Fitzpatrick. I'm a TCG caster. That just means I love talking about them. So let's do that right now. But before we get into today's video, if you do enjoy this one, please go ahead and drop a like rating on it. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, as I know over 95% of you that watch these videos have not done. Why not? It's free, and while you're there, go ahead, drop a comment down below and let me know what you thought of the first ever Star Wars Unlimited Galactic Championships. I'm absolutely gutted that I wasn't able to be there either on a caster perspective, a player perspective, or even just as a fan and as a spectator of this great game. 2026 though, you bet I'm coming for Las Vegas, Nevada. So let's have a little look into the grand final. We had two players making it all the way to the top. It was Filip Skularek that you are seeing here on the screen from Europe, on Poland. He is playing Mother Tolzin Aggression, which was one of my top 5 decks to watch out for in the Star Wars Unlimited Galactic Championships. Link to that video in the description below and in the iCard. And Ian Klein is playing Kylo Ren Tarkin Town. A very, very interesting choice, considering I wasn't 100% sure how strong the Kylo Tarkin Town, or Kylo in general, was going to be in Legends of the Force. I said in my video when talking about the leaders that were coming in this new set, that it was going to be a very, very specific build I felt like was needed for this deck to be very, very strong. And it's proved right here, entering into the final of the Galactic Championship. So we've been through the first action phase here, Acolyte having been pinged with Migs Mayfield, and then Tarkin Town away. This Migs has been a really, really great inclusion for Ian as well. I was watching throughout the case, the space of the tournament. Very, very nice when used in combination with that early Tarkin Town, something we see quite early and quite a lot of. We now see Force Throw coming out here, getting rid of Snapshot Reflexes, a card that Ian will mainly want in that discard pile, and is mainly being used to be put in that discard pile, so that when Kylo Ren leader deploys, you can get the attack with it straight away, because of course Snapshot Reflexes can attach onto the Kylo Ren leader unit, and then that effect will trigger that it will get the attack straight away when it plays in. So Migs Mayfield here effect is triggering because Filip has forced the discard out with the Force Throw. Now here comes the Secretive Sage, a really, really great extra early unit that has come in with Legends of the Force, a 2/2 shielded. Filip's going to claim the initiative, and Ian is just going to go ahead and pass. So early phases of the game, just in a little bit of a feeling out process here. Filip, one of the best players in Europe, absolutely. Him and his teammates Mikołaj Wendowski were both on this Mother Tolzin Aggression list, and that's quite common that you'll see with teammates, especially with guys from Team Enigma, that these both are at, as we're seeing the Force getting used here with the crash in with the Karis to be able to clear the way of both units on Ian's side of the board. Effect of Kylo, there is a pillage to get rid of both of the cards in Filip's hand, but Filip is going to end this phase with a unit on the board with that Tolzin's Assassin. It is a Force unit, so as soon as it attacks in here with likely the first action of the phase, which is what we see, Filip is going to regenerate that Force token. And as we said in that video where we were talking about the breakdown of what we're expecting to potentially see do well in this Galactic Championships, this deck is all about having that constant generation, that constant flow of using the Force, as we see Hotshot DL44 Blaster getting played out of the Smuggle, paying the aspect penalty to do so, because remember, it has the cunning aspect when it's played out of Smuggle, so it's had to use all 5 of his resources, but has gotten that huge attack off with the Mother Tolzin leader unit, boosted up. Ian's going to claim initiative, and Filip is going to pass. So early tempo, very, very strong here with Filip at the the moment. So into the next phase that we go ahead and go, and we're going to see the champion of Mortis making its way onto the board here. I don't think it's going to give the full -6/-6 here, because I don't remember seeing a heroism card go into the discard pile. And now, Philip kind of playing Ian in his own game here, now has that assassin with the fallen lightsaber on it. And of course, again, as we said, it's a force unit. So it is going to get the on-attack trigger here to deal the 1 damage. And this is a really, really smart bit of sequencing here from Philip. Using the Mother Tolzin attack first to spend the force, giving the -1/-1 to the champion of Mortis. It now does mean that I believe the assassin is going to be able to go ahead and swing into the Anakin Skywalker, clear the way of it, get the force token back as well, because it's a force unit that's going ahead and attacking, and still living because of the HP boost that is being granted with the fallen lightsaber as well. This is a really, really strong phase for Philip. You can see in the cards in hand indicator there as well on the right side of your screen that there is a Devastator that is in hand, and Philip is just 1 phase, I believe, away from going ahead and playing that down along with the Night Sister Warrior. Then Ian, we've got Admiral Moti, Battle Fury, and Lom Pike. So we do have a couple of options. This is also going to be the phase where Kylo Ren Leader is going to be able to deploy. Dangerous board to go and deploy into, though, with that Mother Tolzin with the Hotshot Blaster underneath it, and then the assassin with the fallen lightsaber holding on. I think that's why Ian's just having a little bit of a think here. There is the possibility to just declare a couple of pass actions, but then there is the question about then Philip could just take the initiative there and just say, oh, okay, cool, the only thing that you really want to do here is deploy that Kylo Ren. Let me try and dig for something like Merciless Contest or Power of the Dark Side to just have the immediate answer for you.
Sith holocron, if I remember correctly, that was discarded.
I think that's correct.
I think we're still with Ian's action here. I don't think he's declared pass yet. You could just burn an action just by, like, playing the Moti here, maybe? We are gonna... Okay, burning an action to draw 1, discard 1. That's fine as well. We want the Battle Fury in the bin anyway, but that doesn't mean that you are you dead in 2 actions here now? With the Assassin crashing in, that's 18. Falls in is, what, 3 damage? So that's 21, 22, 23, 24, I think, or 23 or 24. I think he's just short, Philip, from winning in 1 action here. Yeah, next phase. Just heard one of the casters there that he's threatening at the start of next phase. So he can't win this phase. So Ian's not in, like, ultimate danger here, but it is very, very scary. And even if Ian, like, deploys Kylo Ren, lands a load of units on upgrades onto it, along with the snapshot reflexes, tries to attack into the Tolzin and clear the Tolzin, then you've just got Philip going like, okay, claim initiative, and then still deal with my assassin? Realistically, it's really not good for Ian in this situation. This is one of my biggest fears on the Kylo Ren leader unit and the Kylo Ren deck is it could just be a bit too slow. Like that 7 deploy, unless you're playing command and you're ramping into it with Super Laser Technician and resupply and stuff, it is quite slow. So Philip has had the opportunity here to just build not necessarily like wide aggression, but just continued aggression, continued strong tempo with the Assassin and Tolzin and the 2 upgrades that he's been able to find with them. So it's not like he's been like super overwhelming, but it's been consistent. And you're running Tarkin Town as well. Obviously, it's such a great base, but you've only got 25 HP on it. So your second action of the phase is just to play a 1-2 down.
Being played for 1-3 on the board.
Or 1-3, I beg your pardon. And Philip's just got the easiest, okay, I'm just going to slam into base, give -1/-1 to your 1-3 and make it a 0-2. And Philip could just claim initiative. And you've got the Devastator, yes, you could just claim initiative, even if Ian hasn't answered to your board state, you just resource, play Devastator, deal all 4 indirect into the base, and you win.
You know, if I'm counting right, it looks like Philip has 6 resources, so that would still put him a couple turns away from being able to play.
Oh, that is a good point there, actually. Dola just made a very good point. Philip hasn't continued to resource here. So he's not actually on Devastator resources on the next action phase. Okay. It changes the maths a little bit, but I think Philip is still fine. Because Ian still needs to clear the way of both of these units for him to survive or have some kind of way to put a Sentinel down, which at the moment he doesn't. He's got Moti and Lom Pike in hand. And Lom Pike has a shield. It's not a Sentinel.
I can survive to attack twice.
He's got what?
Kylo. And that being the case,
Constructed Lightsaber in the bin. Battle Fury in the bin. Snapshot Reflexes, we know, is one of them. Okay, Sith Holocron as well, so we're going to go ahead and go in. And Kylo's a Sentinel! Oh, okay. Okay, so that makes things a lot better. That actually makes things a lot better. I've been completely blind and silly here. So Kylo is going to swing in huge here. Is going to get activations from the Saber and the Holocron. So when defeated, it's going to activate with a Moti, reactivate the Kylo Ren, then swing again into base, and all of a sudden it's 26 damage on base. And Philip needs to get through the Kylo Ren, and then get the 2 damage that he needs onto base. This turned very, very quickly all of a sudden. And now I have to go back and rewatch what phase that Philip decided not to resource, or when he was unable to resource potentially. Because remember, there was that pillage from Ian that happened a couple of action phases ago that forced Philip to a 0-card hand and then drew the 2. So it was this phase that Philip didn't decide to resource, it seems like. We're into the next action phase. We're into the regroup phase. Philip immediately has resourced a Karis. Isn't really going to help. Jedi in hiding, I don't think is going to help. Karis gets resourced. So here is the swing in with the assassin. But then we've got constructed lightsaber to go underneath. But that means that Talzin is going to be able to... I can't swing.
And then wait a second. That constructed lightsaber, of course, on a unit with neither heroism or villainy, gains Sentinel. Ian with exactly the right card at the right time to stuff that attack. It doesn't win him the game outright.
Okay, so the constructed saber gains Sentinel because it's an aspectless card. Initiative claim, just drop down the Night Sister and the Jedi in hiding. But Ian's going to scoop it up, is he? Yeah, it looks like he is going to scoop it up. So I think Philip there is going to take game 1 because he's just gone, yeah, I've gone wide now. You completely managed to clear out my board, even with the fact that I've had the Sentinel from the leader unit and the Sentinel that's been granted to the 1-3. But that was a really, really interesting game. It was a really back and forth game. I was saying about how, like, Philip had such a great start and a consistent sort of piece of presence throughout the space of that game. And then that Kylo leader unit deploys. I completely forgot that the Kylo actually has Sentinel. I was just so fixated on the you get a load of upgrades attached onto the unit, and you've got the snapshot reflexes to potentially try and attack in, but in actuality, you've got the Sentinel there on board, you've got that Sith Holocron, and that really cool combo play that you saw was that the attack went in, Sith Holocron defeats the Moti, gives the Kylo Ren leader unit a +2, Moti's defeated trigger then activates, reactivating the Kylo, to then go ahead and swing in again, and put him a couple of points away from taking the game in that phase. So a really, really interesting game 1 there. We'll skip through just straight into game 2 here. Because I really want to see more. I want to see more of this Kylo Ren Tarkin Town deck. I'm rooting for Philip as a European-based member of the Star Wars Unlimited community. But this Kylo Tarkin Town deck is really, really interesting. Philip has kept his hand and has got his 2 resources. Devastator, Fallen Lightsaber, Grand Inquisitor. I love Grand Inquisitor. Hotshot Blaster, Secret Stage, and Tolzon's Assassin. I'd imagine it's DL44 Blaster's got to be one of the cards that's gone, and the Devastator. Yeah, keeping yourself on curve. That makes the most sense. What have we got in Ian's opening hand, though? Heroic Resolve. Mainly in there to help activate Skywalker, Champion of Mortis. Discard it away from Kylo Ren. You've got an easy heroism card there in the bin. Play Champion of Mortis. You get the -6/-6. Karis, Pillage, Power. I'm not sure what the other 2 cards are. Karis was definitely one of them that was kept. And it's going to be a keep of the initiative. Not going to elect to discard away the Heroic Resolve.
Yeah, that's right.
Because he doesn't want to give Philip the initiative going into the second phase. So, Philip with the Secretive Sage on board with the shield. Power of the Dark Side is the immediate answer for it. Good, we like that. And then Philip going to play the Grand Inquisitor.
So,
and now here, does Ethan just go ahead and slam the Karis in? We're going to... Kylo Ren first, pitching the Heroic Resolve. Philip obviously claims initiative. That clears the way for the Karis, and then pass. I think either way round that Ian did that there. There was always just going to be the claim from Philip. There was nothing else that Philip really was going to be able to do there. So I don't think the ordering was super necessary in that situation. But either way, it's the same result. You've got the Heroic Resolve in the bin ready for the Anakin Skywalker that has now just been drawn as well. You can see there at the top of the cards in hand indicator. Both players have one. You've also got Fallen Saber, a power of Philip's own, Tolzon's Assassin.
Power of the dark side, then you're in big trouble here.
Do you power the Karis here? Just to clear the way? Are you too afraid of when that Anakin could maybe come down? We're going to crash into the Karis first with the Inquisitor, generate the Force as well. Tarkin Town's going to clear the Inquisitor because Hidden has now gone away. Tolzon's Assassin can use the Force but doesn't need to because there's no units on board. Pillage here is going to get rid of Power and Anakin and keeping that Fallen Lightsaber in hand just like Philip did in Game 1. And now, what have we got for Ian? We've not had too many activations of Kylo Leader just yet. We do have Constructed Saber now that we can throw away. Acolyte against Witch of the Mist. That's the same 1/3 from Game 1. We're going to Leader Effect here. And again, attach the Constructed Saber to give it Sentinel. And now Philip's wishing he kept that Power of the Dark Side. And there is that confirmation there. If it's a non-heroism, non-villainy unit, the card gets Sentinel. It's a +2/+3. And there is the Fallen Lightsaber.
Yeah, exactly. Fallen lightsaber or a fallen Jedi lightsaber on.
So we're just going to swing into the Sentinel. The Force ping from the lightsaber will defeat it. And then the Assassin will crash in to base. Again, Philip's just in a really strong position. Only on a 1-card hand after resource. Sent the Secretive Stage away, so keeps Force Throw. Ooh, Rival's Fall. Rival's Fall hurts the leader deployment. But we've got Hotshot Blaster in the resources. We like the Hotshot Blaster, even with the aspect penalty that we have to pay, and it keeps the 1 resource open for Force Throw as well.
It's been doing a lot of work in this series.
For later on, if there was anything that was going to come down, but Ian all tapped out was always going to be a claim. So now we've got, what, Anakin, Secretive Sage, Witch of the Mist. Power of the Dark Side isn't really helpful on this board, because if you power the Dark Side here, you just get rid of the other unit. But Anakin going to come down. take care of the assassin, of course, showing that heroic resolve that we saw was pitched on the first resource phase, or the first action phase, I should say. Is there another blaster in resources? There is also lightning now for Philip. But are we just gonna, just slam the blaster, just get more damage into the Tarkin Town base? Power of the Dark Side is offline because we don't have the resources for it, but we do have leader deployment available. He's just gonna claim. So no leader deployment from Ian on this phase. Dath Tyrannus, Kiadi-Mundi as well. That's very interesting. I think quite a lot of the Enigma guys were using that in the sideboard. Again, predominantly to try and help activate the Champion of Mortis, Anakin, which is now going to get cleared by the Tyrannus, or Philip, ambushing into the Anakin because we've got that Force token. One of the best aspects of running this kind of Force Matters deck. There's the trigger pulled on the Power of the Dark Side to try and keep a little bit of tempo. Initiative claimed. This is surely just use... Oh, okay, we're going to smuggle out Long Pike and not deploy Kylo yet. Perilous position? Is that what we've just discarded there? That's really interesting. You're not going to perilous position your own guy.
Just for 4 anyway, or actually it can't. I was going to say just for 4 because we want to turn on the Force thrower, but it's got the penalty whether you use the Force or not.
Yeah.
So
that's my mistake.
Philip with the first action here draws Power of the Dark Side to get rid of Long Pike.
Okay, Ian has 7 resources. We know what Kylo Ren is capable of. We're in a very similar situation as last time. Philip
Ian's actually got 9 resources.
But
as we just said about that Ian's got 7 resources, he's actually up to 9 now. From my count, there is the 1-3 again into Grand Inquisitor, which has that hidden text. So Power of the Dark Side isn't, or is Power of the Dark Side going to be able to do something? Because hidden only targets, like it only accounts for cards that like target it, but Power targets the opponent, right? The Power of the Dark Side might be able to get around the Grand Inquisitor. We also still do have the option to just deploy Kylo on this action phase. That is perilous position in the top of the discard pile. That's really interesting.
It is still a lot of damage.
We are going to power, which does work, okay, as I thought, because it targets the opponent, so it doesn't actually target the unit that has the hidden keyword. So that gets around it, as Force Throw is just going to get the last card in hand, which is the Migs Mayfield. Can't deal any damage because there's no Force unit on board anymore. So Philip's only action here on the remainder of this phase is just going to be to claim.
And this is your last chance if you're Ian Klein. You must win this game to stay alive in the grand finals. So every decision.
So Ian's going to heads up and claim. Okay, that makes sense. Again, being very, very reserved on his leader deployment here. Philip does pick up Champion of Mortis Anakin, which isn't fully online right now because he hasn't Force Thrown himself throughout the course of the game, so that Kiadi-Mundi is still stuck in the hand at the moment. I don't think I see any heroism cards that are also in the discard pile. So if Anakin does come down, it's just -3/-3, and it's not the full 6 that Philip would really like to try and help answer any Kylo leader deployment. Not going to resource it away, though. Still keeping a hold of it, hoping to draw... I think what would end up being his 3rd Force Throw, but instead he's just going to grab the Kiadi-Mundi down, paying the aspect penalty for it, use the Force token to draw, play Krennic off of the 2 cards that you've just drawn with that Force token,
it has telegraphed to Ian that
I was just
likely has
daring
a
him
hand
to
that they don't like as well.
deploy the Kylo here.
Resources,
There's Force Lightning
a little bit
to
timid,
burn
instead,
the
what happens now is
Kiadimundi.
Ian says, okay,
Philip has to
Philip just
claim.
spent
No
6
other
games
actions
of
can be
Force
taken
Choking
from
to play
him.
this.
Yeah.
Maybe
So
I'm a
now
little
is
bit more
Ian
clear
just
than
going to
I
go
thought.
and
On the other side,
deploy
Philip
the Kylo?
has
He will
picked
now
up
deploy the
the
Kylo and chuck
key
double
feedback
constructed
drop, and
saber
this
onto it.
This is all signs are
Oh
go
my
for Ian after he
God.
saw that.
Yeah,
That
so
is
4 apiece
huge. So that's what,
damage-wise on
5, 6,
constructed
7, 8,
lightsabers
9
because of the villainy aspect on Kylo Ren.
damage that's going
And
in,
so it's
plus
4,
the
8 plus
extra
5,
damage that's being
13
boosted
damage
from the
swing for that
double
Kylo Ren,
constructed
and just
saber
kinda
as
saying,
well.
Hey, Philip, if you've got it, you've got it.
Wow.
I'm going for it right now.
Yeah, and it has
So
to be
Philip
right now
does
because
find
it's only one
Devastator.
action away from lethal. If the
The
Kylo
Devastator
Ren is
can't
not stopped
burn the
some way
base here
by
for
Philip,
game.
we will be going to game 3.
Force
Yeah,
Lightning
so we do see
can
the Anakin Skywalker champion
not
Immortus able
fry
to give
the
Anakin
Kylo, but
Skywalker
we do
on
have
the side.
Luke,
Believe it
and
is
now the
-6
Kiadimundi is in the
right?
discard
Yeah,
pile
the Kiadimundi in the
from
discard
it
pile,
being Force
exactly.
Lightning
That's
from
a very
Ian's side of the
heads-up
board.
plan
The
from
-6,
Philip to say,
-6
well, I'm gonna
is
play
going
this
to be
first as well,
live.
just to make sure it's in my discard pile for this
Is it
exact
an
reason.
could
Yeah, I was
just
saying,
be
there has to
enough
be a
here
plan
now
for
to
the Kylo Ren. Well, that certainly
buy
is it,
Philip
because
maybe
instead of
one
13
extra
damage,
phase?
it
There's
would
an
now be 7,
Anakin
which is
of
not enough to
his
threaten lethal on
own,
the side of Ian, and Philip
which is going
might
to get
have
2
bought
separate
the
instances of
necessary
-3 and
time
-3
to
here. They
either
don't
find another answer
both, like,
or
they don't
find
kind of
maybe source of damage.
immediately
You see the
combine.
Devastator
They're
and the
2
Death
separate
Again,
instances
not
here. So the
enough
first
now.
-3 is
Was
going to
first
deal
game
with the
would have been
Krennic,
enough to close it, but right
and the
now,
other one's just
by
going to weaken
itself, doesn't get the
Anakin
job done.
on
Yeah, so the
Philip's side of the
interesting
board.
situation here is that,
And he's going to put
okay, long-term
lightsaber
lightsaber on the Anakin
onto
Skywalker,
Anakin
yeah,
purely
making
just to
sure
get
that
him back
you're,
up to
you
his
know, you're
base
really threatening,
stats.
you know, the Kylo or the lethal actually if you force lightning and turn off.
And I
Kylo
think
too, and
Philip
yeah,
is
all right,
scooped.
I think the Kylo on Ian's side
Yeah.
is just a little bit too big. And so
Wow.
we are going to game 3.
Really,
for the
really
final
interesting.
game
But this is a
of
really
Star
good
Wars
best of
Unlimited
3
Galactic
set
Championship.
at the
I think
moment
if you
here.
look
We
at
had
what the
a
Kylo
really
Ren
strong
could do
game
with
1
those
from
13
Philip.
damage swings,
Really interesting sort
that
of
was
back
gonna be
and
lethal.
forth
There was
game
no
in game 2
Sentinel
there.
on the
Ian
side
very,
of
very
Philip.
patient
You know, he didn't
on
have
his
any
Kylo
ability
Ren
to
leader
see a
deployment
packet
and then
damage,
getting
just saying,
double
"All right, you got
constructed
me.
saber
Let's
to
go to game 3."
attach
Well,
onto that leader
especially what
unit.
happened was Ian
I
realized,
was a
okay,
big fan of
the moment
constructed
that
saber as
lightsaber
well. You can
goes
go back
down,
and watch
all I
my
can do is take the initiative. I have
all
to fill out the
legendaries
board,
video
and
for
resources
Legends of the
were
Force, and
already
I
spent
was
based on the
hyping up
fact that
constructed
Philip had
lightsaber. I'm
no
a
other
big
way
fan
to
of
continue
lightsabers
to
in
deal
general.
with the
Who isn't if you're a
Kylo,
Star Wars
very
fan?
heads-up
Specifically,
But constructed saber just felt like it offered
players who
so
have
much
seen it,
versatility
heard of players over the
and
course of
felt
Stars
like
Unlimited. It was kind
a
of treated as
true
kinda
legendary
second-class cards, right?
that
Where
was
you
in
don't
like
really ever play a
completely
lot of
mono
them.
aspect, like
You know,
vanilla
now we have a deck
aspect, right?
that
The
excels
Death
with
Star
them. So
plans we
whoever
got
wins
in,
this one, what
I
an
think that
incredible
was
story to get this
Shadows
far
of
and
the
then become the
Galaxy?
champion. But
It
Charmer,
was that or
this
Twilight of the
is
Republic.
it.
It
The
makes sense
decks
it to
are
be in
being
Shadows of
cut.
the
This
Galaxy,
is the
but it was
last
earlier
game
on in
of
the
Star
game.
Wars Unlimited
Just didn't
2025
quite
Galactic
feel
Championship.
like
At the end of this
it
game,
was,
one of these
or
two
it had a
players,
home in
Doug
any
Tavares
kind of
or
like
Ian
deck,
Klein,
but
will be the
constructed
champion.
lightsaber is a really, really
This is
cool
gonna be a
card,
really
and I'm
important
very
game
glad
for both
that
players.
it's getting some
Obviously, Philip wants
representation
a
in
fast
this
start.
Kylo deck.
Ian's
So
looking for any ways
that means
to
it's an
mitigate
all
that,
or
more
nothing
ways to set up
game
a
3
big combo
in the
turn
Galactic
of seeing
Championship, which is
Sanity
what
align
you
with
expect,
position,
right? Or
which
what
would be
you
very
really want to
beneficial.
see in the
It's not
first
just
ever
-2,
Galactic
-2.
final.
One of the reasons that card was
Get a
an
game
incredibly
3,
popular
get both the
after
players'
Galactic
decks
of
firing
Galactic
on all
was released
cylinders
to
in
the
games
also
1 and
exhaust
2, and then
systems.
have a
So
real
playing
nail
on
biter
somebody's leader when
in
they
game
deploy, for
3. So
example,
we're
can be
starting
really
off with
valuable.
Philip with the
Yeah,
initiative.
absolutely. And
He's
time
going to
is
go
sometimes
Acolyte of
the
the
thing that
Beyond.
saves the
We've
day, right?
not
And
got a
look at
lot
Ian's hand. It's
in
it
that
is
hand
slightly
for
awkward. He's got
Ian.
the
There's a
card
lot
to
of
the side.
removal.
You know, but
There's
he
a
doesn't
few
have a whole
upgrades
lot
to be
else
able to
that, but
discard
that
away
position,
early,
you
but
know,
there's
the
no
Nexus
real
is strong.
board
Of course,
presence
Sith
there.
Holocron, maybe with the Admiral Mahdi, we'll find an
Well,
opportunity
we
to
find it
play
from the
a little
leader
bit more. And
the
now we
leader
should have the
effect.
Mayfield to put on a little bit of
Very,
pressure
very
early.
fortunate unfortunate there, I think, for Ian, because there could have just been the opportunity that Philip just kind of went fast and went the more literal aggression style of this deck. So he's going to go ahead and swing with the Acolyte into Migs, prompts Ian to just go Tark in town, swift power of the dark side against the Grand Inquisitor, and Philip try to play on curve with units, just doesn't quite happen to start things off, and that is the more kind of traditional Vigilance villainy showcase from the Kylo leaders aspect pairing. going is Fallen Saber is going to go onto the 1-3. That makes that a 4-power attacker now, which can clear the way of the assassin and live as well because of the +3 HP that the Fallen Lightsaber is giving the Witch of the Mist as well. It makes it a 4-6 on board, so lives with 2 HP left. And now Philip has got Power of the Dark Side, Force Lightning, another Tolzin's Assassin, and Anakin Skywalker, which I think he's one resource away from being able to play. So we're going to go 4 here, just for another Assassin, burn the Force token, and give the Witch of the Mist the reduction. So now it can't kill the Tolzin's Assassin, and it can't kill Tolzin leader unit straight away as well when that goes ahead and tries to deploy on this action phase. If Philip wants it this action phase at the very least. Could just burn an action here if we're Ian, just leader effect, discard Sith Holocron, draw one, see what Philip does. If he snap draws the or if he snap deploys the Mother Tolzin leader unit, you've got Perilous Position that you can just slam onto it. No, we're going to Perilous first onto the other Tolzin's Assassin. There is the snap deployment of the Mother Tolzin leader unit. So yeah, I wonder if that was correct there. I wonder if you just burn an action instead, just discard Sith Holocron away, see what Philip does. If he claims initiative, then you've got the free swing in there with the Witch of the Mist. Yes, it's only doing 1 damage, but it's still 1 damage that's going into the base at the very least. And it's a Force unit, so you're getting the activation of Fallen Saber, which we're seeing here. Just pinging one into the ground units. Mother Tolzin leader is going to get the Force token and swing in to clear away the Witch. And now Ian's probably just got a claim here, I think. Yeah, because otherwise he's just facing down a load of attacks, a load of quick aggression from Philip at the start of the next phase. Oh, Power of the Dark Side drawn for Philip as well here. We're 1 phase away from Ian being able to deploy Kylo Ren, but the Skywalker comes down, gets rid of one of the Tolzin's Assassins. Do we just swing, or do we just fire off the Power of the Dark Side now? Yeah. Might as well. We still got Force Lightning in our hand as well. Now we finally get rid of that Sith Holocron with the Kylo Ren leader effect. Attach Fallen Lightsaber onto the Perilous Assassin. Swing in hard with both leader unit and the Tolzin's Assassin. Crash into base with the 8 damage now that is there. And Ian with Open Fire Power Secretive Sage. Leader unit is available to deploy here. Migs was also drawn but was resourced. Makes sense. This is just mop up this board is what you've got to do now here. Open fire onto the Tolzin's Assassin. That livens up Power of the Dark Side to get rid of Tolzin. Good. Okay. But now we've just got Philip with a free window to just go, oh, okay, I just Anakin Skywalker here. Yes, you claim initiative. Your first action is probably deploy Kylo to just sit in front of the Anakin. But then Philip's got Force Lightning with... Oh, there is now Power of the Dark Side that's been drawn as well. Okay, so what we do first here is we actually probably go Power of the Dark Side, get rid of the Anakin, yes. Do whatever Philip does on his phase. Probably play the Tyrannus just as a unit on board. Either that or you can play the Krennic. Krennic makes sense. Leader effect first. Oh, draws Constructed Saber. That's rough. That's rough. I don't think there is a Saber already in the resources. So again, we're going to burn another action. We've got Long Pike in the resource row. There's the force throw to discard constructed lightsaber. It was probably going to go in there anyway, so that's okay.
Yeah, it can be.
But that Tyrannus still has the shield token on it because it didn't ambush into anything. It didn't have anything to ambush into, so it's just sitting there as a 4/6 with shield. Oh, and now Devastator is going to come in. It's indirect damage, remember, so it gets around shield tokens. But we're just going to force light. No, we're going to Devastator ourselves.
Why not another one?
Deal the remaining damage into Lompike that's needed. Burn the other damage into the base. Does Ian now... Well, Ian's at a really, really bad spot here. Claim initiative. Okay, eat damage from Krennic. Now finally draw snapshot reflexes and a Champion of Mortis Anakin, but now you've got the Devastator to have to worry about in the sky. And you're so far behind in terms of damage on the base. 14-2, and you already started the game with a -3 differential in terms of base health, because you're playing the Tarkin Town, and Philip is playing the Aggression Force base starting on that 28 HP. One more piece of damage needs to be dealt to even just bring the starting base HP back into parity, let alone how far behind that Ian is right now with his damage on base. He's at, what, a -17 differential at the moment, if you take into account the starting HP on Philip's base.
Yeah, no, I was actually wondering if there was heroism in the discard pile or not.
Yeah. I might be misremembering. I thought there was a heroic sacrifice in hand earlier, but maybe that also went to the resource pile.
Heroic sacrifice, I think, was in game 2.
Yeah, heroic resolve.
Well, heroic resolve, sorry. I think that was in game 2, which is what the casters are talking about to try and get the Devastator off of the space.
Ian just cannot allow Philip to attack with this.
Yeah, I mean, there is that. 9 damage, that would take him to 23 damage on base, just 2 away, and obviously the Director Krennic would finish things.
Yeah, so he has to take that trade in with the Devastator, because otherwise, as the casters are saying, he does just lose in 2 actions. Krennic is just going to go ahead and swing in, almost kind of reading any potential leader deploy from Kylo Ren. We're going to burn an action again. Discard the snapshot reflexes, ready to be able to try and make an attack. There's a secretive Sage. Anakin, Champion of Mortis, is going to get rid of it. You've got to deploy this Kylo now on this phase, I think. But there's Anakin as well for Philip. Force throw, discards lightning. That's not really going to help deal enough damage. You can, like, ping the shield token off of the Director Krennic. Philip claims you deploy Kylo Leader, and then Philip just, like, hopes that he can draw some hard removal for the Kylo Ren. Rivals fall. In Rivals Fall, the Kylo Ren, then the Anakin probably swings in to the other Anakin. Krennic still does damage. If there's another hot shot, I don't think you quite got the resources then available to still then use the hot shot blaster out of Smuggle. It doesn't look like it's in the resource row anyway for Philip. So does Ian just go ahead and deploy Kylo? It'd be kind of pointless to use snapshot reflexes at this point here, because you don't need the action economy right now in this phase. Holocron
discarded from the force throw.
So really help here, because I don't think you don't want to defeat your own unit. And I think only Holocron can only defeat friendly units in order to get the +2. Just gonna be a pass. Not even deploying Kylo Ren.
He just drew Charmer into his second Force Lightning.
Okay, so Philip's first action is, jam the Anakin into the base while we can. 4 damage away. Does Hot Shot do it?
And so now Philip is.
I think Hotshot's
kind of
+2 or
feigning
+3
having Devastator. I think
from
that's
memory.
what
If it's
Ian was worried about
+3,
this.
even if it's +2, Hotshot
Kylo
does it. So if there is a
previously
Hotshot
would have
blaster
stopped
in
this,
resources,
Anakin attack
if Philip has
also
been able to
meant that
find
Kylo
one
would
off of the
have been
top 2 cards of the
significantly
deck, which I
weaker,
don't think that he
That
has
was
because he was
limited on the
force
resources.
thrown
So
in the
other
last
game.
action
The other
phase. So
thing,
there's
too,
not the
is you
threat
really
of
feel like you have to
Hotshot
deploy,
blaster for game here.
Kylo right now, because what if there is another blaster in the resources?
Exactly,
too?
that's
That
what
would
they've
be 4
just picked it
damage
up
from
as well
Krennic.
now. Hotshot
That
blaster
would
does
end the
just
game
win Philip
just
the
as much.
game.
So
I
it
think you've
really
got to
seems
deploy
like with all the
Kylo.
heroic resolve
I
that
really
you're
think
gonna
you've
be
got. I think
applying,
you needed to
feel
deploy
very compelled
Kylo last
to
phase.
deploy
In all
Kylo
honesty,
Ren
to get
right
yourself
now,
a
this
little bit
action.
of
He has to look through the discard pile
extra
first.
life, a little
You've
bit of
also
extra
got the
sort of
attack
time
with
to
Anakin.
work
You could
with,
also just
because
attack
you've just
into the
given
spread if you
Philip
take it out, but you
a
really
free
need the
chunk of
on phase
damage
two.
to fire into the
Yes,
base.
I think
I
that is
really
coming
think that
down
was a
to
misplay
whether or not you're
from
attacking into Krennic
Ian's
or
point of
deploying
view. I mean,
Kylo.
obviously,
Ian knows
I'm
that
sat here at home
and
after the fact of the Galactic
picking up
Championships,
all
and
of
these
these
guys, at
resources,
the
maybe
time
just
of
looking to see if
this
there's anything to
being
smuggle
recorded and this being streamed, we're playing it live.
do a
So these
quick
guys will
count
know
here as well.
way more than I
Time
will
to work with,
about what is correct or
time
what's
to
not
work there is for there.
in this board
So,
state.
a very big Kylo should Ian decide to go that route.
Still got that heroic resolve in hand. I think Ian's maybe just like trying to make the gamble here. Do I have the extra action to be able to burn and use Kylo leader effect to discard the heroic resolve, draw 1, and just sort of risk and gamble the fact that Philip doesn't have Hotshot in resource row? We know there's not going to be any, well, we assume there's not going to be any danger of anything like Surprise Strike that's going to come through and win the game here.
Force lightning, turning off Sentinel, and then the swing, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So
that is a good point as well, actually. Force lightning deactivates the Sentinel of Kylo Ren here. Still means you're not dead. You don't lose to
potential things we could see out of Philip. So if
Force
Kylo
lightning,
comes
because the
down,
amount of resources
we
that you'll
actually
have to
could see
pay
Philip just
to
deploy
clear the
this
way of the
PI
Kylo Ren,
to
especially with
draw
all of the
behind
upgrades
that
that are going to go ahead and
Devastator for the
attach onto
finish.
it. It's going to be a
Yeah.
very,
Force
very
lightning to get rid
beefy
of the Sentinel on Kylo, will
Kylo
also
leader
work
unit,
if there is a
but it will
blaster.
mean
So
that
you were
Philip
calling
will
out
be
the
able to get
blaster,
the
right?
extra
Force
cheap
lightning,
chip
without
damage
dealing any damage, could just
in with the
turn off
director
the damage
Krennic.
of the Kylo, and then the blaster attack from Krennic could also get there.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. That's what you got to be worried about with if you're Ian. I can't blame him at all for taking a long time to make this decision. This is the grand finals. This is a crucial turn.
Yeah, you've got to deploy. You've got to deploy. It's the safest thing that you can do here, because as the caster was saying, even if you like deploy, lightning plus blaster still just wins Philip the game. So we're gonna go triple holocron constructed saber onto the Kylo Ren. You have to pay all of the costs onto them.
I am not playing to not
This is a
lose. Yes, I
huge...
know
It's going to be
that there
snapshot
is,
reflexes as
some
well,
potential options here, but
just to get a
going with
big
looks
chunk
like,
of
as you
damage
pointed out, will be
into
the snapshot, so
something
it will be the instant
in the same
damage going
action.
in.
Yeah. I'm just
Are you
kind of
gonna
wondering if it's worth it to
defeat Anakin, or are you just going to
deal 2 damage to Anakin here a couple
crunch
of times.
into
Sith holocrons. Can we
base?
get the Sith holocron on the screen one more time? I just want to take another look.
It's
at
just
that
going to be
card
crunch
real
into
quick.
base.
Yeah, the Sith
20
holocron does give
damage
the unit
swing,
the
or 19
additional
damage
attack, so
swing.
when you're attacking, you can deal 2 damage to have it pump the attack power of the unit. So the Kylo, for each Sith holocron, it gets
Yeah, so it
+1/+1,
is
but it
do
could
damage to a
represent as many as
friendly
+3. Now,
unit.
the important thing is it's a friendly unit, so you don't even have to put it on the Anakin. You could put it on the Kylo
That's
as
a good
well.
point too. Yeah, that's a very good point too. Anakin Skywalker does
Yeah, and that's what he's doing.
Does have
Okay,
so he could
holocroning.
take a bit, but he's going to put 2 on Anakin. He's going to do that's going to be 9 damage on the Sith holocrons alone. 10 from snapshot, 4 from the constructed lightsaber. So that's 14 plus 5. That is 19 damage.
Yeah, that is
damage
huge.
on Philip's base right
That's
now.
a huge swing. So is
And
Philip just gonna
and he can force
lightning this?
Anakin, can't he?
He
Well,
can
so the
lightning the
problem is
Anakin.
If that's
Ooh,
the
man.
case, though, then Ian can just take
Just take
initiative
initiative, yeah.
and then swing with the Kylo. So you
Yeah.
either have to deal with the Kylo or win this turn.
And I'm trying, he's already used 1 blaster from resources. I don't know for sure, but
this is really close. This is
really,
really close here. Lightning and Kiadimundi. The Kiadimundi doesn't really help here. I don't think. Because you can Kiadimundi draw the 2 cards, but then as the guys were saying, you just claim initiative here, so you have to force Lightning, fry the Kylo.
Get rid of the Krennic. Yeah.
Thankfully, it had enough damage from the Holocron to like help make it a little bit cheaper here for Philip. You don't have the resources now available to play Kiadimundi on this phase, so Ian's just going to claim. Philip will swing,
then Philip claims initiative and then attacks with his own Anakin the next
and then Ian.
Right, I was just about to say that.
Ian needs another snapshot, I think.
Very wisely.
No, he's not. Snapshot doesn't quite help because he's 7 damage away.
You have to answer both of these units
and Anakin has 5 attack. I think from memory. And Ian's just gonna scoop. Ian's just gonna extend the hand. Wow! What a crazy best of 3! And Philip Skudlarek is the first ever Star Wars Unlimited Galactic Champion. What a best of 3! What a matchup there! And well done. What a best of 3, and what a like showcase again for the brand new set. I love the fact that continuously in Star Wars Unlimited, whenever a new set comes out, there are so many leaders. There are some leaders that just make that immediate impact. And the fact that we have had a grand final here with both of these leaders coming from the new set is just absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. Very, very well played. And a very, very deserving win for Philip Skudlarek as the first ever Galactic Champion. He's been a fantastic player throughout Season 0 of Star Wars Unlimited in Europe, getting to, I believe he got to the final of the Milan sector qualifier and lost, but since then has been continually going and going and going, and now has his reward as the first ever Galactic Champion. So that is going to do it for this video. It's now over to you. What did you think of that matchup? Would you have played it any differently potentially if you were in these players' seats? And most importantly, are you going to be there this time next year in the Galactic Championships? If you have enjoyed this video, please be sure to go ahead and drop a like rating on it. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and turn on those notifications so you do not miss an upload. That's going to end today's video then. Thank you once again for watching, and until next time, we'll see you soon. Goodbye for now.